I can walk elegantly in a dress and also climb across walls. Wow, it's a powerful statement by itself, and that is how she convinced the panel to get into MIT. She comes from a home where women are a source of inspiration and men are a source of strength. She leads growth and strategy at Salesforce and also champions women empowerment. But then, she also has a vision for India, and let's know more about it today and her life. Let's welcome Divya Ashok, Vice President, Growth and Strategy at Salesforce. Hey Divya!
Hi, Kiran. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's wonderful to talk to you and your audience. I'm really excited.
We are excited too, and how is life, Divya?
Going well, learning to work across time zones and, you know, learning about a different market and trying to grow Salesforce. So I'm trying to grow a new team. So it's all fun.
I know. Along with that, when I checked a little about you, we also know that you silently opened a COVID fund for India during the pandemic. That's really nice of you, and it shows what kind of a leader you are.
Oh, that was actually, I can see you've done your research, but I did that closer to the beginning of the pandemic and built it out with about eight people I'd never met in life. We all just connected on LinkedIn, another community. Um, but then we knew one or two of us knew each other, and we said we needed to do something for the country and something for the world. So, given the whole migrant crisis back then, we decided to jump in and just do a small part of what we could.
Wow. Oh, wonderful. And again, these are some great qualities, and again takes you back to the roots. Tell us a little about your family as well.
Oh, I have, so my parents live in Madras right now, and I've got one sibling who's way smarter than me in terms of working on cancer and genetics. That's her domain. Um, my dad has been a strong influence in my life. He's been a CEO multiple times, and today is an exec coach, helping others succeed at work. And my mother has been a teacher and a very, very strong force in our household. Um, and the values that they instilled, I think, are fairly universal. Um, Integrity, honesty, humility, and gratitude. I think those are some of the key values that got instilled in me from a very early stage. And I'd say, of course, hard work. There's nothing like hard work. So it was work is worship is something that I think many, many Indian households will identify with. And that's,
Right.
I was also taught that adage very young.
Now, I'll tell you what else came to you naturally, your curiosity, and have you used to ask questions when you were young, used to hold people's hands. Tell us a little about that funny story, Divya.
Okay, this is why I shouldn't talk to you offline. But happy to share this story. It's a funny one. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I used to ask a lot of questions, like you said. And my parents love to travel, which I've inherited. But anytime you go to a new place, we would be taken to these monuments, historical monuments, and they would be sharing the story. But then I would ask a thousand why questions: how, why, what, when. I still continue that to today in some of our meetings, as you've seen. But in terms of what would happen is sometimes they would leave my hand just to, pick up a bag or, adjust something, right? I would literally catch hold of someone else and say, "Hey, can you please tell me?" And there's a 4 or 5 year old. Yeah, I'm picking up a stranger, and I'm like, who seems safe. I'm just like, "Can you please tell me why this is and why that is?" Like my curiosity had to be satiated. I didn't care who satiated it. It led to a lot of heartburn for my parents, but on the whole, it seemed it seemed okay because there was a little kid who was walking around with confidence and just asking questions.
You were a brave little girl then, and now a brave woman now as well. So, there is no difference I see, and it's totally natural. I totally understand that. Divya, tell me this. You have championed women empowerment through a lot of ways. You have led a lot of initiatives in Salesforce as well, right? What does gender equality mean to you? And talk to us a little more about that.
Sure. I think in terms of equality, we all start with a place of equity. I'll just explain that in a quick second for our audience who may not be aware. But we all think when we say equality, we presume and assume that everybody starts at the same level. Um, Equity is more about the current situation. We don't all start at the same level. Some people need a bigger push than others, and a little bit more of an uplift. And that's one of the things I learned over my journey when I co-founded and um, scaled our Salesforce Women's Network. That not every group comes from the same um, background, not every group comes at the same level, and we need to be inclusive of all of these places. In terms of gender equality, I think what I'd like to share with the audience is most people are asking for equal opportunity, equal advancement, and in general, mental equality. Equality. I'm not looking to carry the same number of weights or do some things that my husband does. No, that's not what I'm looking for. But I think equality of opportunity means that there is an opportunity even at home to share, chores, to share responsibilities, and at the same time do the same at work. Provide equal opportunity to the women in the room for the same.
No,
That's how I look at it.
absolutely, because all the developed nations in the world today are the nations which treat everybody equally, and
That's right.
especially women are empowered, and these are the countries that flourish. I totally agree with your
Exactly.
point there, right? Just shifting gears, guys, a fun fact. Divya has traveled and stayed across around 48 countries. How many countries did you live in, Divya?
I've lived in 5 countries, but
5 countries.
yes, um, including the US. But yeah, traveled to quite a few more.
Traveled quite a few more. We get that. We get that. Divya, you're one of those emerging leaders in Salesforce at the HQ. Um, and I'm pretty sure you might have seen some inspiring leaders in your career till date. Uh, talk to us about who are great leaders for you. What is leadership?
Well, that's 2 questions. I love how you're throwing 2 questions. You're making this more than Shoaib Akhtar's, uh, you know, balls that nobody could
So
see.
you
So
follow
let me
cricket
start
as
with the
well?
leadership. I do. Would I be Indian
Okay.
if I didn't? Uh,
Oh yeah.
no, I like following sports like badminton and cricket. Don't get
Okay.
to as much of an opportunity, but once in a while, World Cups and a few other key games I might follow.
Right.
But
Yeah.
going back to your lessons on leadership, Kiran, I've had the opportunity over my 12 years here at Salesforce to be um, in the presence and to work with several great leaders, whether it be Parker, whether it be Srini, whether it be Amy Weaver, Ebony Freelix, Beckwith, and also Niracha, Teacher Kunawood, and I'm throwing out all these names like Andrea. There's several others, but in terms of uh, these leaders, I think I'll pick one trait, right? I've seen good leaders and I've seen these leaders as great leaders. Great leaders, I think, surround themselves with a fantastic team and they don't claim to know all the answers. They're not looking to be a know it all, but they're looking to learn constantly. And I think that's what makes them better. They age like wine. Um, they get better every single repetition and iteration and meeting because they have this insatiable curiosity. You know, give credit where it's due and surround themselves with the smart people, and they only show empathy for everyone around them. So these are 2 or 3 lessons that I've seen these great leaders imbibe, and that has, in a way, shaped the kind of leader that I am.
Absolutely. We see that already. And one more interesting point that you mentioned is not there is no person in this world who knows everything, right? When you think you know everything, you are limiting yourself to a certain zone, wherein you're not exploring anymore. Once you're open to a mindset that you have to learn something, that is when a world of possibilities open up. And this is very common in great leaders, Divya. You mentioned a very interesting point there. Divya, my next question to you is, you have a vision for India, a $1 billion vision. You're joining forces together. Talk to us about that vision you have in mind for us.
I'll share what I can. I think a lot of it started with the CEO, and so taking that forward, there is, a vision for India becoming bigger. Um, both, I think there's a lot of untapped potential in India, and the way we're looking at it is not just serving our customers and partners today, but also growing our ecosystem into the wonderful people who will be listening in here, into our trailblazers. And we want many, many more rangers. We want people to be able to build their careers on Salesforce, and it's important for us to, help give them the right platforms and connect them into this universe with our customers and partners in order to build a very, very strong ecosystem. So that's a part of the plan in terms of how we can innovate in newer areas, build expertise, and give back to the community.
Right. No, to tell you, India Trailblazer community is in and game on, Divya. We are all in this together.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
It was a pleasure, talking to you today, Divya. Have had a wonderful conversation about women empowerment and leadership. It was great having you on the show today. But before you leave, we know that you love cooking. You love your cooking, and you also play shuttle badminton. So a couple of shuttle badminton rackets for you and your partner, and a cool crockery set for you. So how do you like that?
That's very sweet. That's very, very sweet. And I look forward to working with all of you. So, and let's do this.
Absolutely, Divya. Have a great day ahead. Do you like us? Is it? How do we know that? Okay, do this. Please comment, like, and subscribe to our videos. Then we will know it.